Mm, mm.
Love that intro. Love it.
Yeah, that's such a great intro. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Monday Night Raw Dog. I am your host, Coach. You're part of the We Book It podcast, and I am joined by my esteemed co-host and my producer for the evening, Big Daddy.
What's going on? What's going on, Coach? Glad you're back, man. It's been a minute. How's everything
Yeah,
going?
it's going good. Yeah, I was sick 2 weeks ago, and then um, we had kind of had the weekend off because of the Super Bowl, which
Right.
kind of wasted a Sunday evening. But yep, I know you're happy.
No,
I know you're happy.
no three-peat. No three-peat. I love it. I wasn't on the pod yesterday, obviously, but like, man, I tuned in for a little bit on YouTube, but man, I wasn't expecting the game to go the way that it did, but like I was happy the entire time. I was like, yes. I was like, now they can stop talking about this damn goat. This Brady. He is at the throne forever. Forever. And he beat
Mm-hmm.
Pat twice. No losses against Pat in playoff competition. So no, now we can put this shit to bed for a hot minute. No, he will not ever three-peat. Okay. It's not going to happen. This was his best chance. It's over. It's done. Now we can get back to some wrestling, talk some Monday Night Raw talk.
All right, let's get right into it. So we kick off the Monday Night Raw with Jay Uso making another incredible and entrance into Nashville tonight. He actually gets to do another encore once again with the crowd chanting one more time. He gets into it, gets onto the top, starts yeeting all over the place, only for Gunther to come out and break up the party. Actually chucked his jacket into the crowd and looked like he took out. I mean, he had some authority behind that throw, did Gunther. But he starts beating up Jey Uso, gets him in the ring, hits a couple power bombs. Security comes out. All the while, Gunther saying, "Don't you do it, Jay." Only for Jay to get a mic, say, "I'm probably going to regret this, but you and me, WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship," and that is how the segment ended. What a way to kick things off, and I think perfectly executed timing on Gunther coming in to break up the Yeet Fest, and it just was a way to kick off Monday Night Raw. See, what did you think of that?
I enjoyed the it's kind of I had to rewind it back like cuz Cole was going crazy. He was like, Jay, look out, turn around. And then to see the angle of Jay falling and like while the crowd is just like I was like, holy shit, that
Mm-hmm.
was a good catch by the cameraman. But yeah, it was that was good up in the segment, man, to see these two go at it. Like I feel like this is where this was going. We knew Jay was going to choose Gunther based on previous history, and now we got it.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't see him going against Cody for the championship. I felt like that wouldn't have been a good feud to sell, honestly, unless you turn Cody heel against Jay. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good for Gunther because he needed to get some of that mojo back, that vicious heel mojo. Like he needed that because
Mm-hmm.
his reign hasn't been the best since he's won the championship, and so he needed to get that fire back. What he had when he was an intercontinental champion. He needed that back. He needs to get that back in full. Um, I don't see Jay winning at Mania. Um, but who knows? Anything can happen at WrestleMania. But I don't see Jay winning. If they really care about Gunther, like having a respectable reign, I feel like he has to retain at Mania. and then keep this thing going. Like you don't want his world championship reign, his first world championship reign, to be shorter than his Intercontinental Championship reign. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
him to be if you want him to be a dominant superstar, you know, where we can remember this down the line, especially as a world champion. Think of the likes of Bruno Sammartino. I'm not going to say that person's name, the blonde haired guy, named Terry. Um, you know, just guys like that. Who else? Man, I'm trying to think of it. Just all the legends before our time, you know, during our grandparents' time
Mm-hmm.
that had long title reigns. You know, Gunther, I feel like could be in that fold. And so, yeah, I think this would be a good feud. This might be one of the best feuds going into Mania, honestly, because you got the big underdog in Jey Uso going against this powerhouse and Gunther. So it's always a good like combination to have in a WrestleMania feud, you know. And it was like that with
Mm-hmm.
Sammy Gunther for the Intercontinental title last year. So I feel like I can keep that going this year. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, good stuff right there. See, and also to bring it to your point, that's been what Gunther's been missing at was that his when he had the IC title. And to your point about Jay maybe not winning WrestleMania, you never know because Jay wasn't supposed to win the Rumble until they called an audible right before they said, you know what, we are going to let Jay win the Rumble. So that's just what's been released from Fightful and a couple of other news sources,
Mm,
and especially in Jey Uso's view, he had
mm.
said that he didn't know he was going to win until right before the Royal Rumble started, the pay-per-view, not the actual Royal Rumble match itself. But you
Okay.
never know what's going to happen at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So we move So we move on to our first match of the evening, which is a women's tag team match between Damage Control and Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Pretty much a heel dominated match turned into a lot of back and forth once Io Sky got in, a lot of near falls, and there was actually a point to where Liv Morgan got near her eye and was bleeding. Just like I said, a lot of good back and
Hey, coach.
forth. Yeah.
Don't mean to cut you off. Is things kind of like shaky on your end too, or is it
Yes,
just
just a
me?
little bit. No, it is a little shaky.
Okay, because like okay, uh, which is weird. I'm like I'm right in front of my my power box, my modem. So I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, go ahead. My bad.
No, you're good. A lot of back and forth action, a lot of near falls, to which I actually thought that Liv and Raquel, but Io Sky then hit her over the moonsault and pinned Morgan for the victory, which was kind of a surprise in my opinion, but it keeps the momentum going forward. It looks like maybe they're going for a push for the tag team titles with Damage Control, but we'll take a look at that later on. See your thoughts on this match.
Pittsburgh. Yep.
Okay, well, we'll
Yep.
we'll just leave it at that then. All right, well, moving on then. We get to our next match, which is an Elimination Chamber qualifier match in the women's division between Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. You know, I think what kind of killed this match was the commercials with Netflix, especially, well, if you were watching in the US, it would be the commercials. International fans probably got what we got. Not a whole lot happened. Bailey delivered a sunset flip bomb and tried for the elbow drop, her signature elbow drop, up, then hit a tornado DDT, and then just kind of a back and forth with the finishers. And then there was one move that Bailey sent Lyra in ropes, and actually Lyra hit her neck on the rope, and it looked like it stunned her, and Bailey rolled her up for the victory. I'll give my thoughts real quick here. See, and I kind of initial reaction, did not understand why they went Bailey over Lyra with this. However, after taking some time to digest it, I understand maybe it was the right call to go with Bailey because of one, she's going to be in the Celebrity All-Star game, so they can kind of do that free promotion stuff they've been doing lately with all of their wrestlers. But man, Lyra needs something for that IC title. Like it's been lacking. It's been bad. It looks like her and Ivy Nile are about to start a pro, but it just it's frustrating how that match was and how it ended, in my opinion, for Lyra, because I'm a big fan of hers. Wish the booking would be a little bit better for that IC title. See your thoughts on this.
The match itself, I'm not gonna say I didn't care for it, but at the same time, I was a little shocked that Bailey won. I thought I was gonna keep riding the momentum of Lyra, especially after the Royal Rumble. But it looks like they got bigger plans for her with her and Ivy, aka Nebula from Guardians of the Galaxy. So I think that's the plan. So I think they're probably going to have. Looks like they're going to have the entire American Alpha be like champions at some point. Like have like yeah. So they're probably going to have her have Ivy win the Women's Intercontinental Championship and have the Creed brothers win the Tag Team Championship, which we'll talk about them later on. But yeah, I think with Bailey, like you say, I agree with your point about the free press, as well as like I also think you think about who's all in the match itself. I feel like you kind of want big names, like people that are believable to win the match and go on to challenge Tiffy or whoever Charlotte, well, the opposite of whoever Charlotte decides to pick.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's pretty much. I believe Bailey was the best one to win this match. Lyra, like she'll have her time, but right now, she's going to be in the mid card status for a while, which is cool. You know, she's the inaugural champion, so this is pretty. It's a prestigious honor to be the first and to have a good run with that championship. So you know, she doesn't need to be in the main event scene or a world title scene right now. You know, so let her keep doing her thing. And I don't think Bailey's going to win the chamber match. So you know, but you want a big name, somebody that's a former champion. To be involved in an elimination chamber match, kind of make things interesting with the other folks that are in the match. We got Alexa Bliss, we got Liv, and now Bailey. So we'll see who the others are on SmackDown. I'm pretty sure they're going. The other qualifying matches will be on SmackDown, right? Or is it just all Raw?
There's one more on SmackDown. It's Naomi and Chelsea Friday, and then next week is on Raw as the final qualifier with Roxanne versus Raquel.
Okay, so chances are Roxanne's going to Raquel is. I think you know I think they'll have Roxanne win that match, and
I agree.
just to add to the whole thing with her and Bailey, and then I believe, Naomi's going to beat Chelsea. I'm not worried about that. So yeah, but I think that match itself is going to be a banger once it's all said in stone on the participants. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving to our next segment, we get AJ Styles returning to the ring and giving a big Nashville people. He addressed his career, how he thought it was almost over after suffering that injury just 4 months ago against Carmelo Hayes. But he says he has a to-do list before he could start checking off that to-do list. Dom Mysterio and Carlito hit the ring and try and intimidate Styles, to which Styles is not impressed, and Carlito and Dom kicking him out of the ring. Very simple, but it's what happens afterwards that was is it.
All right, Mike. I see. Gimmick infringement, Mike. Gimmick infringement. Black man
God,
backstage,
Mike.
still in my flow. He copied my whole flow, bar for bar, in my Soldier Boy voice.
Oh my gosh, Mike. Oh, I miss you, Mike. But good to hear from you. But so what happens afterwards is goes to Adam Pearce, says, I want this match with Dom Mysterio. That will happen next week. But also afterwards, Braun Breaker comes by AJ Styles with a fancy cowboy hat and see you around. So possibly teasing a little IC title showdown between AJ and Braun Breaker. See your thoughts on the promo and then the interaction with Breaker and Styles.
I enjoyed it, man. Just seeing my guy AJ back, man. Like, I've always been a huge fan of AJ back in his TNA days. Honestly, that was my introduction. Like, he was my introduction to TNA. Like, my cousin had like the best of AJ Styles. Well, he had somebody burned the greatest hits, the best AJ Styles DVD and put it on 2 discs. But yeah, they burnt it, and so yeah, that's how I was watching it. But yeah, that was my introduction, and ever since then, I've been a huge fan of AJ. But yeah, I was glad to see him back, healthy. See what's going to happen with him. Is he going to eventually get back into the world title picture? Who knows? We'll see what happens with that. I do see him and Braun at Mania for that championship. They teasing it. And so I think or it might be a triple threat. Who knows? AJ, Braun, and Penta. But of course Penta's dealing with this whole thing with not Butch, but Pete Dunne and and Mr. Why do I keep forgetting his man's name? Kaiser. Ludwig Kaiser, yeah. So it looks like once they get done with their whole little situation, then we might get the triple threat with Penta, Braun, and AJ. Or it might be a 6-man ladder match at Mania for the Intercontinental Championship. Just throwing it out there.
I'd be down
Just
for that.
throwing it out there. But yeah, so I enjoyed the promo and the little teaser there with him and Braun with the little cowboy hat. So another gimmick infringement, from your boy.
Yeah.
But it's all good. It's all good. I ain't trying to get speared like Speed, Braun. So hey, no problems, man. No problems. Do what you want, bro. But yeah, go ahead, Coach.
All right, then we move on to our next match, which was time and was actually kind of spur of the moment. Actually, it was announced during the show after the first segment, it was a tag team title match between the War Raiders and American Made. So that was that we're getting a. Oh, okay, Mike. All right, man. Whatever you say. Then, oh God. Okay, moving on. We're not talking about it.
No, he was making reference to my my Soldier Boy joke because ironically enough, he was dissing Drake in this interview when he did
Oh,
that
okay.
whole thing. I was like, yeah. But go ahead.
Thought we were going down another path. I was like, oh, boy, guys, we gotta stay focused here.
It's been spoken of enough.
Yes. Between the War Raiders and American Made, American Made had the advantage after a distraction. Then once Eric and Ivar kind of got things moving, a lot of athletics showing up between both sides, which I was very impressed with how the War Raiders were moving. This is awesome chants were going throughout the crowd during the entire match. And right as their War Machine finisher, Julius Creed grabs the tag team titles and blasts Ivar with the belt, and it led to a disqualification. So everything to the War Raiders, but it's the afterwards, after the match segment where the Creed brothers are standing tall with the tag team championship, probably foreshadowing future reign, but maybe not the most ideal finish with the disqualification, but it does protect both teams going forward, and I think that's just going to build on this rivalry. So see this tag team title match.
I thought it was solid for the most part up until the Creed brothers just forgot that they were in a championship match and it was normal rules. You ever play any of the wrestling games, mainly 2K, and you forget that disqualification is on, and you just decide to grab a weapon because you're tired of getting your ass kicked, and you just go in the ring like, yeah, I'm gonna hit this man with a ring bell, and then bam, you hit him, and then the ref, ding 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 ding, disqualification. That's pretty much what happened in this match. They just said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna hit you," and yeah, I'm like, y'all was holding your own. You didn't have to resort to using foreign objects. So I just felt like they kind of lost themselves in that moment. But I believe they'll get another shot at the championships, and I think they'll prevail this time because as you know me, I don't foresee the War Raiders having a long title run. Like they can have a pretty short, decent run, but not like 2 or 3 months long. So
Right.
I think they'll hold. I think they'll hold it all the way going into main. No, they'll hold it going to Elimination Chamber, and then I think they'll drop them then. So that's my thoughts on it.
Okay. Yeah, good stuff there, C. Moving on to our final segment, it's one of two things. It's a CM Punk promo, and then our main event, which is a match between Rey Mysterio and Logan Paul. Starting with CM Punk first. He basically just gives his promo about how he's ready for Elimination Chamber, says he still vows to stab Cody Rhodes. Talked about John Cena, how you may not have saw him at the Rumble, but you will see him in the Elimination Chamber. Just kind of going back and forth. Then Logan Paul's music hit, to which CM Punk says that you even had a qualifying match. That's how little I think of you. Logan Paul gets booed, yada, yada. We get onto our match when Rey Mysterio enters in. Paul, most of the match, Mysterio then got his comeback going, but couldn't put Paul away. and then Paul punches Mysterio in the face, hits his new finishing move that Pat named the Pulverizer, which I don't know about that. But either way, Logan Paul wins, advances to the Elimination Chamber match, and hate the idea of Logan Paul winning. This will probably set up a good spot in the Elimination Chamber to where a lot of people are going to purposely go after Logan Paul and beat him up. Very, very happy. I think CM Punk is probably going to be the one to eliminate him with his go to sleep in the Elimination Chamber. But solid match. Not bad. But it wasn't anything outstanding. See your thoughts on our main event here for Raw.
Same. Rey Mysterio, it's over in terms of world championship opportunities for him. So, just got to throw him in there to give Paul some type of credible opponent to beat to get into the chamber match. So I feel like this was just one of those situations. Paul, I think it's good to have him in his match. Gets the experience for one. I feel like there will be a very interesting spot extreme wise where he will jump off something. That's what he loves to do. And so yeah, I think, you want to talk about, people coming back after a while and not doing much to get a spot in a chamber match. CM Punk called out Cena. And it's almost like Logan Paul, he's been gone for a long time and hasn't had much, outside of the Rumble itself, and ain't really have a match, against anybody up until now. And so, but it is what it is. So I think, yeah, I'm fine with him being in the match. We'll see who the other competitors are going to be. I believe Rollins is in it already. Punk, Cena, now with Drew. Now Logan's got one more?
Well, Rollins hasn't officially been in yet. His match is next week against Finn Balor, but all signs are pointing to him being in the match.
So he's the last one.
Yes.
Is he the last?
It's looking like it.
Yeah. All right.
Let me double check I'll double check that real quick.
Cena, Punk, Paul, Drew, McIntyre, Drew, Rollins. Still one more.
Yeah, there is one more, and I'm trying to see if we're missing something, or okay, that's the women.
Because I'm automatically counting out Sammy and KO because they're going to have a match at Mania. Who else? Oh, Priest. No, Priest was in the triple threat. That's right. He was in the triple threat.
It wasn't. No, he wasn't. That's the match that is on Friday. It's Jacob Fatu, Braun Strowman, and Damian Priest. That's
okay.
Is the last.
That's the last.
I don't know. I think Well, it's definitely not going to be Braun.
Jacob.
It's definitely not going to be Strowman.
I think Jacob. That would make things a lot interesting. Put Jacob in there because you already got it's looking like Solo is going to get another shot at the WWE Championship, which we don't want to see. Yeah. So I think Jacob, the best thing right now is to put Jacob in there, get him that experience because I feel like he's gonna go crazy in that match. And so, so I'm cool with that. But yeah, the match itself, nothing to write home about. I after it was over, I was like, man, this Raw was kind of kind of weak.
Mm-hmm.
It's Monday Night Raw is kind of weak, but I believe once we get closer to Elimination Chamber, things are starting to pick up a little bit, and then once we have all the contestants figured out, we should be good, and then figure out who Charlotte is going to pick. Um, she didn't show up tonight. At least I didn't see her show up tonight, which means more likely she's going to choose Tiffy. Um, yeah, I think she's going to choose Tiffy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, those are my thoughts on Monday Night Raw and the main event.
Yeah, so kind of my final thoughts on that. I mean, nothing. I'm kind of with you. See, it was kind of a lackluster Monday scene the last couple weeks, and I think
Mm-hmm.
and part of that is we don't really see a clear direction yet for the WrestleMania card. We obviously got our first one tonight with that's pretty much set. Looks like we're getting Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in some form at WrestleMania, or they might be doing it at Elimination Chamber. I'm not sure, but we can only speculate they're doing a program. There's just a
Mm-hmm.
lot of question marks and a lot of different ways you can book stuff with everybody right now. So I think once Elimination Chamber is over, kind of have to start pushing what your WrestleMania card is, because then after that, like Elimination Chamber is the final PLE before WrestleMania. So I really think that we're going to after Elimination Chamber, which is different from last year, because last year we pretty much knew what the card was going to be at this time, because we had already
Mm-hmm.
had the WrestleMania, we had the press conference with the Roman Reigns and Cody and Seth Rollins. That had already happened at this time. So we had already had everything figured out. But
Yep.
now it's just like everything's just so up in the air, and it's a good thing to have this kind
Mm-hmm.
of unpredictability about it. Um, just this might have been one of those shows where the unpredictability, we couldn't see it yet because of what needed to be told with in the Elimination Chamber. But I mean, overall, it was an okay Raw. Not bad, not not good. It was just okay. That's just kind of how
Mm-hmm.
I saw it as. So I think they'll probably bounce back. You got Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. That's going to steal the show. AJ Styles comes back to the ring against Dom Mysterio. So a lot of good things coming up next week on
Oh,
Monday
you
Night
admit
Raw. So
you missed something. I don't know if you caught it, but I did. Maybe I missed.
nope.
Maybe I missed mentioned something about it at the end of Raw. Did you catch what happened
Oh
before,
yes,
right
yes.
as they were going off air? Kofi, New
If
Day
I forgot
attacks.
that.
Yeah, yep. New Day attacks Rey Mysterio. And like that was pretty much it, which I found weird because Triple H said there's no set time, and yet y'all went off air as this was happening.
Hmm.
So what the hell? like,
Yeah, this
like,
is.
like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? We got to get it together. We got to get it together. Like, if y'all go say there's no set time, do not go off air if y'all got something else planned. And they attacked Rey Mysterio for whatever reason. So now we got to go on
Hmm.
YouTube like minutes after the shit is done to figure out what the hell happened, because they're gonna show us exclusive footage what happened at the end of Raw as Raw went off air. So, if you guys haven't watched that yet, go watch that. I will be watching it as soon as this is over to see exactly how this played out. I don't know why attacking Rey Mysterio was a must for them at the end of Raw
Yeah, I don't get it
as
either.
as a cliffhanger. I don't understand it. But yeah, the fact that they went off air as it was happening, just like yeah, Cole's doing commentary and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of awkward there. But I give
Yeah,
Raw, I give
it was a
Raw,
very awkward.
I give it a C plus.
I'll give it a little bit more of a better grade. I'll just go B minus. That's all I could say for it. But that is the end of our show here. Thank you to all of those who are listening to us, and whether you're listening live right now or after this is posted, we are on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on YouTube, we have Facebook, X, Instagram, you name it, we are on it. We have a Twitch account right now as well that we're working on. We are on TikTok. I mean, we have all sorts of channels for you to.
Yeah, we're actually streaming on Twitch right now. I said we're actually streaming on Twitch right now. Yeah.
Okay, YouTube. Well then there you go. There you go.
YouTube and Twitch. Yeah.
So yeah, give us a like, give us a follow, comment on what content you would like to see. We have 3 shows that night recap. We have our Friday night SmackDown recap, in addition to AEW Dynamite as well on Friday nights. And then Sundays are our variety show where we just talk anything going on in the world of wrestling from you all. Let us know what you want to talk about, what you like about us, what you don't like about us. We'll still respond in some fashion, depending on which one of us is running the account that day. Formal response, or it could be something very off the wall, aka that's when Fritos has the account. But until then, for my co-host and producer Big Daddy C, I am guys next time here on another edition of Monday Night Raw Dog.
See you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you on Friday.